Stream of consciousness. Let it fly. It is what it is. Fuck YouTube. Free thought. Maybe talking some truth, maybe talking some shit. Opinions that matter, opinions that don't even fucking matter. Well, there's only one way to sum this up. This YouTube channel, it's whatever. And that's the way I like it. Don't be scared. Just fucking build. Truth is, everybody's a hypocrite at some point. Shit, it might even be necessary. I mean, think about it like this. Remember when you were young and you said, you know what? I love this job. This is all I need. This is my dream job. And then you gave it about maybe 10 years or what have you. Then you got sick of the job. You see what I'm saying? It was your dream job before, but now, years later, it doesn't feel the same. You're not enamored with it anymore. You see that? Hypocrisy, just like that. You went from one thing to the next thing. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. That is human nature. The truth is, we don't know what we really want. The only thing that we want is the moment that we're thinking about. That's it. That's all it is. This is exactly why corporations or unscrupulous people can dangle a carrot in front of you and make you do things that's possibly out of your character because they know you want it. They know you think that you need it. And they'll use that against you. But at the end of the day, no, it's very human to be a hypocrite. It goes deeper than what you think. For instance, identity. Look at things from a large point of view, a macro point of view. The very fact that we're having a conversation or a debate or an ideological difference about identity, it shows you exactly how fluid identity always was. Now, the old school people, a lot of them, they'll sit back and say, your identity ain't fluid, motherfucker. Get the fuck out of here. And they'll go as hardcore as you want it to go. But ask yourself a simple question. Who came up with the label of female? Who came up with the label of boy? Who came up with the label of dog and cat? All of these are part of the human language. We just thought it up and we said, you know what? This is what you're called. That's it. So if a human being can do that, then that means a human being can undo that shit. For 100 years, we called these little four-legged furry things cats. Give it about maybe 3 centuries after that, we can call those four-legged furry things dogs if we want to. We can re-identify them if we want to. The universe has 12 laws. And if you notice, none of those laws, none of them keep a human being from calling an apple a banana. None of them. For instance, there's a lot of people that identify as white when you're not actually the color white. There's a lot of people that identify as black when you're not the color black. How can you go after people that identify as girls, even though they clearly have penises? How can you go after women that have vaginas who call themselves men? This identity shit, it's fluid, it's all over the place. But see, again, the hypocrisy. There's over 240 million people in a country of about 330 million who identify as a color that you are functionally and actually not. You're human, just like the man who clearly has a penis and balls, who's calling himself a girl. All of you identify as white, but you're not white. How can you call out these people who are identifying as something else that clearly they aren't? Over 46 million of you identify as a color black, which you are not. How do you go after people who are identifying as something that they are actually not? It's hypocrisy. Do you understand how deep this rabbit hole goes? But see, the thing is, it's not a rabbit hole. It's not. You see, this is one of those instances, folks, where if you actually take this particular ride all the way to its conclusion, you're not going to go down. It's not a rabbit hole. You're actually going to go up. Because if you stop identifying as things that you functionally and factually are not, then it's going to lead you to what you really are and what the universe sees you as. And that is a human being. If you shed these titles of trans, black, white, gay, if you shed these identifiers and break down to what you truly are, which is a human being, then it'll lead you right to the way the universe created you, the way God created you, if you believe in God. I like to make sure that the atheists are covered. But that's the truth. That is the truth. Identity is fluid, but in the eyes of God, in the eyes of the universe, we are all human beings. But as long as you're indulging in hypocrisy, which is quite normal for humans, but as long as you're indulging in this particular hypocrisy, then notice that the divisive labels begin to become more and more and more. Trans, gay, heterosexual, cisgender. And if you take a deep dive, you'll see that there's even more divisive terms. All of these identifier labels. Remember what I said at the beginning of the videos, folks. The labels are human-made, they're man-made, and that's why they're able to change at the drop of a hat. Because at the end of the day, we only know what we want for the moment. We really don't know what we want long-term. If we look at this whole thing from a large, a macro perspective, just imagine yourself looking at the whole of society and the way we talk and the way we treat each other with this particular subject. The very fact that we're having this debate means that it was always fluid. Identity was always whatever we wanted it to be. But in truth, we're all human beings. If we stop trying to be something other than human beings, then we'll begin to come together. But if you notice, folks, when we try to be something that we're not, when we sit back and allow all these labels to take over, do you notice how there's so much division now? Do you notice how there's so many people that are in their own groups, cliques, or clans at this point? Because if you say one thing about a particular member of that clan, you'll notice that the clan goes on attack. They go on the offensive and try to destroy your life. And it doesn't matter if you're the Black Clan, the Gay Clan, the Ku Klux Klan. It doesn't matter. They all do the same shit now. They try to destroy your life. And at the end of the day, from a large perspective, all you really are humans, divided and seeking to destroy each other over ideological differences that don't matter. That don't matter when the funk hits the fan. Because I guarantee you one particular thing. If your life was on the line and somebody was offering you a helping hand, you're not going to sit back and ask, wait, before you help me, are you gay? Are you a trans? Are you black? Because you look mixed. Yeah, hypocrisy. It's everywhere, but it's in us. It's in us. This is the shit that we're able to do, and that's why we do it. But just because you're able to do something, folks, it doesn't mean that you're obligated to do it. You have to try to rise up against your very human qualities. After all, it's the reason why we're not walking around punching and shooting and stabbing each other on a regular basis. There's a morality. There is a sense of right and wrong. The universe gave us that, and it's called the sense of balance. Hey, if you guys made it to the end of that video, listen, I'm giving away free copies of my new graphic novel, Isis Omega. Drop me an email at tyrfree92973@gmail. Provide a name and an address and I'll send you out a copy. You can also purchase the book on my website at tyrfree.com for desktop and laptop only, and tyrmobile.com for cell phones only. People, your support means the world. Think about that, because that's the truth, and it doesn't just apply to me. Peace.